Hello, my name is Emilee Schevers. I'm 21 years old and from Kawartha Lakes, Ontario. I'm a registered early childhood educator, Miss Personality Eastern Canada 2022, and I also happen to be legally blind. I was born with a genetic condition called cone dystrophy, which has left me with 10% of my vision left, or 2200 in numerical standards. My biggest issues that I face are having no color vision and a lot of light sensitivity, which just means that I get to wear super cool sunglasses every day of a variety of different colors to match my outfit. When I was little, some of the first signs that I was visually impaired are that my eyes shook back and forth because I had nystagmus, and my head would actually shake to compensate that. So my parents knew that something was wrong. There was very visible signs that my eyes didn't work like everybody else's. And so from a very young age, I was introduced to tons of doctor's appointments. I wore glasses from basically preschool up until about grade 10 when I realized that they weren't actually helping me see any better. And this was my world. I just knew that I wore glasses and that's it. And that was my life. I didn't really think of myself as being any different from my peers, and I didn't even notice really that I couldn't see things because I couldn't see them. So I often held papers really close to my face in gym class. I would get hit in the face with like dodgeballs a lot, and everybody else knew why, but I just thought this was normal. And I didn't really start to acknowledge it until probably grade 7 or 8. When I started getting individual life skills training from teachers and orientation and mobility training, where all of a sudden it was like, hey, for you to be independent going forward, you're gonna have to use a cane. Because from this point forward, I had just been holding onto my mom's arm and sighted guiding, even though I didn't know that is what it was at the time. And, you know, being independent wasn't something that I thought was going to be a challenge for me until I started doing it. And I realized I was gonna have to use a cane, and I was going to have to think about crossing the road instead of just looking at the light like everybody else. And they were small things that I didn't realize were going to impact me until they were. And I was so thankful for the teachers that I had and the supports that I had growing up that were able to allow me to be a confident, independent young woman that I get to be today. And I'm also thankful for the opportunity that I got in grade 10 to go to the School for the Blind in Brantford, Ontario, and actually meet other people who were visually impaired, because for the majority of my life, I lived in a rural community and I didn't realize I was visually impaired because I didn't know anybody else who was visually impaired. I grew up in a sighted community with sighted peers, and so the challenges that I realized that I was facing, I thought I was just the only one facing them. And so to be able to be introduced to the blind and visually impaired community and get to meet other people was truly life-changing for me, and that I got so many new supports, resources, but like friends, people who also put their phone like 2 inches from their face, and people who also have to use canes and maybe didn't grow up using canes and now have to. And the struggles that I was going through, all of a sudden, I wasn't doing it alone. And so that was really when I started to embrace this side of me that I kind of was almost neglecting for so long. And I was coming into this phase of acceptance and empowerment from my cane and from the vision loss that I had. My sunglasses have always just been a part of me, and embracing them and using that story to inspire other people of, look, I ignored it. I didn't care about it. I didn't have a vision loss community growing up, and I wanted other people to have that too, which is why I do things like share my story today. So today we are a strong, confident, independent woman who just happens to be legally blind and still manages to live a very full life. And I am so incredibly thankful for that. And thank you for taking the time to listen to my story today.